Hello and welcome to another episode of Globetrot in 5. In this episode, we are going to talk about the ongoing student protests in New Delhi. As is well known by now, student protests have been taking place at Delhi's Jantar Mantar for the past 26 days after the online platform Cockroach Janta Party was created following the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court's unfortunate remarks that sort of likened students and youth to cockroaches. The Chief Justice later regretted his statement and took them back. But it sparked off this movement amongst Indian youth and students, and it brought forward a lot of the grievances that the students were experiencing. One of the main grievances that sparked off this entire movement was the leak of the NEET exam, the medical entrance exam, which is held every year, and that sort of galvanized the grievances of the students, which were many, but NEET was the spark for all of this, and therefore this Cockroach Janta Party, which started as a online digital satirical platform, soon morphed into a real life platform for students to come and voice their grievances. And one of the demands that they had for this protest, which is taking place right now, is that the Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan should be removed for the lapses, which took place in the NEET exam, which saw leaks of the question paper, which resulted in the exam having to be rescheduled. And this is, of course, a very, very tough exam, very, very stressful exam. 22 students who took the exam in the first go, and which were later cancelled, they actually died by suicide. So this is one of the main demands that Dharmendra Pradhan, the education minister, resign, taking responsibility for these circumstances. Of course, the movement and the protesting students have other demands. I mean, these demands range from reforming the education system, making exams leak-proof, hastening the recruitment through professional exams. So, in fact, many of these demands are coalescing now, and we see protests breaking out not just in Delhi, which, as I said, has been going on for 26 days. But protests are also breaking out outside Delhi, in other cities, in Mumbai, in Dehradun, in Patna, in Bihar. So students are coming out with their grievances in different parts of the country. Some in small numbers, some in quite substantial numbers. Of course, the most substantial numbers are in Delhi, where the protesting students are actually gathering from outside the city. I mean, there are students who have come all the way from Maharashtra, from Madhya Pradesh, to join the protests in Delhi. So this is now a full-fledged movement that the authorities simply cannot ignore. But then things stepped up a notch this past Monday, when there was a clash between the protesting students and the police at the Delhi protest site, and there were reports of the students being lathi charged, the police assaulting the students, and it was, according to many reports, very, very brutal. It was a brutal crackdown of the protesting students at Jantar Mantar. Many students were injured. One student was critically so, and she had to be taken to the hospital, and where she remains in the ICU as of recording this video. So that crackdown which happened against student protesters on Monday, which, by the way, the police says that it wasn't one-sided. Many police officers were also injured. But be that as it may, the overwhelming number of reports that have come out suggests that the police kind of took things a bit too far, and there was a brutal crackdown against the student protesters. There are multiple videos on social media. There are multiple reports in mainstream media that suggest that the crackdown was particularly hard. And therefore, that incident, that crackdown, actually kind of steeled the resolve of the students. And now they're saying that they are not going to leave the protest site until and unless the education minister is sacked or he himself steps down. This is the bare minimum that they are demanding at this point. So the crackdown which happened has actually steeled the resolve of the student protesters, and they are not budging whatsoever. So let's zoom out for a moment here and analyze, what is happening. Students today, and I would say that this is not just applicable to students and the youth in India, but also to the students and youth all over the world. It's a global phenomenon. Students feel that the current circumstances that we are living in denies them, proper growth opportunities. Their growth pathways are becoming increasingly narrow. They are being denied, a productive future. And why they feel so is because, again, of multiple factors. I mean, one of the factors is the huge shift in technology, with the advent of AI and other, modern digital technologies. There has been a huge transformation of the job market, and students, feel that there are not enough, nearly not enough, good jobs, good new jobs available for them. So this again, it's happening across the world, where the labor market has become extremely precarious, because there are just not enough jobs. And in this kind of a situation, when the one thing that students and the youth have been told, that that if you study well, if you go through your schooling, your university and education, if you pass all your exams, you will have a decent future. If that promise is compromised, whether it is through exam leaks or something else, then of course the students feel aggrieved, and hopeless. They feel that they are in a hopeless situation, where nobody is taking their grievances seriously. Secondly, there has been, again, a huge transformation of the economy, and there are huge shifts in the economy, with automation and things like that, where, again, like, the available options, or the available opportunities for students, are getting increasingly narrow. So imagine this. So if you are a student today, whether you are in India or Nepal or anywhere else, what are the options in front of you? You there is no guarantee that you are going to have a successful, or rather I should say, a good career opportunity once you finish your education. There is no guarantee for that, of that, because of the changes that technology has wrought, on the job market and the economy. So there is no guarantee. However, the expectations are very high. You have sacrificed so much of your life, preparing for your future, for your career, and so it's crushing that when your sacrifice and your expectations just don't seem to matter. And secondly, if we see a situation where students are not being listened to. I mean, they're just not being taken seriously. Their grievances are not being taken seriously, and that's why we see different things, sparking off these protests in different parts of the world. But the root cause is that students feel that they are being suffocated. It's very, very unfortunate that the 22 students in India committed suicide when the NEET medical exam paper was leaked and the exam had to be cancelled and then subsequently rescheduled, because it's that pressure that students are under. What are the students demanding? The students are demanding accountability. That that what they are the future, but there is no option for them. There are no opportunities for them. Where is the accountability here? Like, who is going to listen to them? Who is going to ensure that their lives are not played with? That's why these students are protesting, and their grievances, though may be different according to different countries and different cities, they are coalescing, because now students the students in outside Delhi, like in Dehradun, in Patna, in Bihar, in Mumbai, in Maharashtra, they are also coming out and they are also voicing their grievances, and they are supporting the Cockroach Janta party, the protest in Delhi. And their grievances are many. I mean, it's not, again, as I said, like, it's not just the NEET exam paper leak, but also things like having leak-proof exams, having faster recruitment through professional exams, so accountability is what they are demanding, and they need to be listened to, because throughout history there have been student protests, and when the authorities have not listened to them, they have led to great change and even revolutions in some cases. So the government of the day has to reach out to the students in a more sensitive and serious manner. So what is the takeout of all this? As I said, the government of the day has to be more sensitive and reach out to the students, seriously consider their grievances, seriously consider their demands, make changes, make reforms wherever necessary, and be seen to be accountable, because that is the most important thing right now. When the students are demanding that the education minister Dharmendra Pradhan steps down, for taking and takes accountability for the NEET exam paper leak and other education related grievances, the government so far has not seen to be responsive. So there has to be that sense of accountability and responsiveness on the part of the government. Secondly, I would say that by protesting, the students have shown a lot of courage. It is not easy to protest, to come out and voice your grievances, and also I must emphasize here that protesting peacefully in a non-violent manner is your democratic right, and it takes great courage to come out and protest in such large numbers for 26 days, voicing your grievances, airing your demands. It takes huge courage. So hats off to the students who are protesting at Jantar Mantar in New Delhi. So by protesting, I think the students have actually reinvigorated democracy, reinvigorated the best traditions of democracy, because this is sort of what the youth can do, with young blood can really sort of go where some of the let's say the older people would be reluctant to. And by doing this protest, hats off to these youngsters. They have reinvigorated the best of Indian democratic traditions. Again, I emphasize, democracy allows for peaceful protests, and as long as these protests are peaceful, hats off to these students for their courage and guts for coming out and making themselves heard. With that, I would like to end this episode of Globetrotting 5. See you in the next one.